So if you've ever tried to get into crypto, you probably know the feeling, right? Seed phrases, these long wallet addresses, gas fees, it's a lot. It can feel super, super complex. But what if there was a new technology, something being built on Cardano that could change all that? Well, today we're going to dive into ZK Fold, a project that is aiming to solve crypto's biggest problems. Just how complicated and not so user-friendly it can be.
Okay, to get started, let me ask you a question. It's kind of like a puzzle. Imagine you're at a wine festival. The person at the gate needs to know you're over 18, but you really don't want to hand over your driver's license. I mean, it's got your name, your address, your exact birthday on it. So how do you prove just the one thing they need to know, your age, without giving away all that other private info? Well, the answer to that little puzzle is this amazing piece of tech called a zero-knowledge proof, or ZK for short. I know, it sounds a little bit like magic, but I promise you, it's very real, and it's being built right now to solve some of the biggest, most fundamental challenges in the entire blockchain space.
So what is this stuff, really? What's the secret? At its core is a concept that, yeah, it sounds impossible, but it's all grounded in some really clever mathematics. Let's pull back the curtain on the zero-knowledge secret. A zero-knowledge proof pretty much does exactly what it says on the tin. It lets one person, we'll call them the prover, convince another person, the verifier, that something is true, without revealing anything else. It's the digital version of proving you're old enough for that wine festival without ever having to pull your ID out of your wallet.
Okay, now this is where things get really, really interesting. Because this one single idea, it unlocks two absolutely massive benefits for blockchain: incredible privacy and amazing efficiency. Let's take a look at both.
First up, privacy. Think about a blockchain transaction as if it were a train journey. With ZK, you can prove to the whole world that the train successfully went from station A to station B. The journey is totally verified. But here's the magic trick. Nobody knows who was on the train, nobody knows what they were carrying, or even where they sat. For financial privacy, this is just huge. And then there's efficiency. Think about your bank statement. Your bank doesn't send you a line item for every single coffee you bought last month, right? No, they just send you a final verified summary. ZK rollups do the exact same thing for blockchains. They grab thousands of transactions, bundle them all up, and then post one single, tiny, cheap proof to the main network. This just crushes the fees and speeds everything way up. So, okay, that's the theory. But how does this actually work in the real world? Well, ZK Fold is using this tech to go after the single biggest hurdle for new crypto users, the wallet itself. The team at ZK Fold basically asked a really simple question. Why can't a crypto wallet be as easy to use as, say, a Google account? And their answer is what they're calling the smart wallet, which uses these ZK proofs to completely change the user experience. I mean, let's be real about the old way for a second. You gotta write down this crazy 24-word phrase, hide it somewhere super safe, and if you lose that piece of paper, your funds are just gone, forever. It's an absolute nightmare for bringing new people in. Now the new way? You just log in with the Google account you already have. That's it. No seed phrase to worry about ever. It's such a clear shift from something technical and niche to something anybody can use. And check this out. This is the killer feature. If you want to send crypto to a friend who's never even touched it before, all you need is their email address. They get an email, they click a link, log in with Google, and boom, the funds are there. They didn't have to set anything up beforehand. The wallet just gets created for them right on the fly. It removes all of that friction. And really, this is the end goal. Vladimir, the founder, he says it perfectly. The tech becomes so smooth, so seamless, that using it just feels like using any other app on your phone. The fact that it's on the Cardano blockchain, well, that's just the powerful engine working silently in the background. Now, making wallets simple, that's one heck of a challenge. But ZK Fold is also using this tech to solve another huge problem in crypto. How do you get different blockchains to actually talk to each other? Let's look at how they're building a bridge to connect the king, Bitcoin, to Cardano's fast-growing ecosystem. Think of it like this. Bitcoin is like this massive vault of digital gold, right? But you can't really do much with it while it's locked up inside the vault. Cardano, on the other hand, is like a bustling financial city, full of all these apps and services, what we call DeFi. The challenge has always been, how do you get that gold out of the vault and into the city to put it to work? And, do it quickly, cheaply, and without getting robbed along the way. So the old way of building these bridges can be really slow, sometimes taking hours, and super expensive. And they often rely on some central company, which creates this huge security risk.
ZK Fold solution is called an atomic swap, and it's a completely different animal. It's designed to be almost instant. We're talking seconds, and really low cost because it's trustless. That just means there's no middleman that can get hacked. This makes it perfect for your everyday, smaller transfers. Okay, so all of this, it sounds incredibly promising, right? But with any technology that's this new, this cutting edge, it's really important to have a clear and balanced view. So let's take an honest look at what's coming down the road, including the hurdles and the security trade-offs.
With any brand new tech, you're going to have some growing pains. ZK Fold wallets are really pushing the boundaries because they're built on smart contracts or scripts instead of the old school private keys. They're a lot more flexible. But that also means they face some new challenges and some really important things to think about when it comes to security. See, because these aren't your typical old school wallets, they don't yet plug into everything in the Cardano world perfectly. Things like staking your ADA or voting in Catalyst or connecting to certain decentralized apps, that stuff requires some new standards to be built out. The team's working on it for sure, but it's a hurdle the whole ecosystem has to tackle together. And here it is. This is the big one, the most important thing you need to remember. While you get to ditch the seed phrase, you're creating a new dependency, your email account. The security of this wallet is now one-to-one with the security of your Google login. This means using strong passwords, and I cannot stress this enough, two-factor authentication is absolutely non-negotiable. So looking forward, what's next? The team is crystal clear about their main goal. Stanislav, the co-founder, says their number one priority, their main focus, is finishing the full ZK rollup. That's the tech that's going to bring those massive privacy and low fee benefits we talked about earlier. Everything else is kind of building the foundation for that big goal. So we end up right back where we started, by hiding all the complexity of private keys and blockchain addresses and just replacing them with a login we all use every single day. Projects like ZK Fold are making a really bold bet. They're betting that the way we get to mass adoption isn't by trying to teach everyone cryptography, but by making the technology completely invisible. The only question is, are they right?